Hi everyone, this is Cecil from USA Park Tours. We received an email a few minutes ago from the Office of the Superintendent at Yellowstone National Park, and I'd like to share that with you. This has got the latest updates with respect to what's happening in Yellowstone, and this is current as of Friday, June the 17th, shortly after 2 p.m. And as I say, we received this email a couple of minutes ago. The main point that I take from this is that all 5 of the park entrances remain closed temporarily. However, the National Park Service is targeting as early as next week to get the west, south, and east entrances open. They go on to say that the water levels remain high but have gone down substantially over the past 24 hours. They are monitoring weather patterns and potential for additional flooding with the assistance of various government personnel. The National Park Service has engaged over 1,000 partners in the surrounding gateway communities to keep us and others briefed on what's going on. They've got teams in the park assessing damage and assisting with short and long-term recovery planning. And this is important. The National Park Service is analyzing the carrying capacity of the South Loop, what we would term the lower loop, and working closely with partners to develop appropriate visitor management actions to safely accommodate visitors within that portion of the park. What they're concerned about there is that whereas previously you had both the upper and the lower loops, the north and the south sections of the park, to accommodate the hundreds of thousands of people who visit Yellowstone, now you'll only have the lower loop or the southern loop, and they're concerned with overloading that portion of the park. I was in a Zoom meeting with the superintendent yesterday, and he mentioned that if the park does start to get overrun, they may have to close the park again, which they're obviously looking to try and avoid. They go on to say that the Park Service is working to determine what other potential sections of the park may be reopened for the season, and that decision will depend on the extent of the damage and the ability of the Park Service to safely open additional sections as the year progresses. The superintendent mentioned in our meeting yesterday that amongst the things he was concerned about are businesses and individuals in the gateway communities. And to that point, they go on to say that there are still incredible opportunities for recreation, wildlife viewing, and great experiences in the park's gateway communities: Gardner, Montana, Silvergate, and Cook City, Montana, West Yellowstone, Montana, which is where our companies are based, Cody, Wyoming, and Jackson, Wyoming, as well as surrounding areas in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. They also go on to say that visitors who have trips planned should continue to check the Yellowstone website, and I will post that, I will make a note of that in the notes section at the bottom of this video. They say that because initial damage assessments are ongoing, the National Park Service does not yet have an estimate on when Yellowstone will fully reopen, nor do they know what the preliminary costs for repairs and recoveries are going to be. Very luckily, there have been no public or employee injuries reported due to the flood. Towards the bottom of the email, they go on to talk about the objectives in the North Loop, the Upper Loop: ensure the safety of everybody, restore and maintain basic services, including power, water, and wastewater. The wastewater is a particular problem, as so much of the system was washed away by the floods. They want to restore temporary and permanent access between Yellowstone and Gardner. Now, Gardner, for those of you who don't know, is at the north entrance to the park, and the road from the north entrance runs from Gardner to Mammoth Hot Springs, which is where the park's headquarters is. They want to restore temporary and permanent road access through the northeast entrance road. Now, that is where Cook City and Silvergate are. They want to restore access to the backcountry and then engage various parties. As far as the South Loop, they want to once again ensure the safety of everybody, repair damaged sections of roads, And to that extent, I did read and hear earlier today that a section of road to the south of Canyon, so to the south of the Grand Canyon, I beg your pardon, a section of road to the south of Canyon Village on the way down towards various of the entries to Grand Canyon and the Yellowstone, that had been damaged, but they are confident they can get that fixed reasonably soon. They go on to mention various other things. They're looking at developing a reservation or timed entry system to let people into Yellowstone. They don't believe, though, from what I've heard, that that'll be instituted for several weeks. They want to allow companies such as mine and other business partners into the park so that business can continue in the gateway cities. And that's something that's really important for a lot of small businesses, as after some brutal COVID years now, for so many people, particularly up in the north section of the park, to lose access to the park is just going to do so much damage to their businesses. They talk about all employees are safe and accounted for. Employees who have lost housing have been relocated to new housing units, and this is with respect to the Northern Loop. They thank the Montana Department of Transportation and various others. Food and water supplies to Gardner at the north entrance have resumed. Power has been restored to Yellowstone with the assistance of Northwestern Energy. Destroyed wastewater lines in Mammoth have been temporarily repaired. They're making extensive efforts to improve the old Gardner Road. Now, if you can picture yourself running, or it's not running, but traveling between the north entrance and Gardner, then continuing north towards Livingston, there's a little road, a dirt road to the west of that. It was quite a fun bicycle track to take, and that's the road that they are talking about. They want to plan a new road between Mammoth and Gardner, and they want to clear up the mud and the rock slides. That's it as far as the north is concerned. They talk about the South Loop now. I've already mentioned that they intend to reopen the South Loop. The reopening is dependent on the damaged infrastructure being repaired. Here's where they mention a section of road collapsing south of Canyon Village. Crews actually began work on that today, they say, with an intent to complete the repairs by Monday, June the 20th. That's really remarkable. And they say this repair must be completed prior to opening the South Loop. That's incredible that they can get that done in such a short period. They go on to say that park staff are inspecting all bridges and roadways for damage on the South Loop, and they want to ensure that the Southern Loop infrastructure is not overwhelmed, and the park is working with gateway communities and NPS, National Park Service, visitor use experts to determine the best way to facilitate access. They talk about the known damage issues, aerial assessments conducted Monday, so that was earlier this week. I think we know a lot of this already. The road on the north entrance from Gardner to Mammoth has been washed out in multiple places, with a significant rock slide in Gardner Canyon. Tower Junction to the northeast entrance, a segment of road has been washed out near the Soda Butte picnic area. If you can picture that formation standing on the south side of the road, it's really the only formation there. That's what they mean by Soda Butte. There's a mudslide on the road between Tower Roosevelt and Canyon Junction, so that's over Dunraven Pass, which the superintendent talked about on the Zoom meeting. From Canyon Junction to Fishing Bridge, I mentioned to you a couple of times already that a segment of that road was compromised. They go on to say that many sections of road in these areas are completely gone and will need a lot of time and effort to restore. They may not be able to reconstruct certain of the roads as they are in the place they are, and they'll need to be relocated. That is about all the information in this email. Please stay tuned to my channel, check in every now and again, and I will give you more information as and when it becomes available. Thank you for checking in.